undo historical wrongs. The island has been gifted by them to Sri Lanka. DMK knew about it. Karunanidhi knows about it, knew about it. And the documents, as part of an RTI reply, putting out the facts of what we knew, what we did or didn't do back then, it's embarrassing to say the least. Let's move on to the other big breaking story today, that of Arvind Kejriwal. He's now in Tihar jail. The breaking news update on this is exclusive at 6 p.m. Arvind Kejriwal has been sent to judicial custody, which means he is in Tihar jail. Now, that's not the only headline. Is the focus now on Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj? Because ED claims that Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj were in direct touch with Vijay Nair. ED claims Kejriwal has said that he had nothing to do with Vijay Nair and that Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj were the points persons. So, by doing that, has he effectively thrown Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj under the bus? That's what the BJP is claiming. Let me go across to my colleagues Riyanka and also Piyush Ori joining us on the broadcast. The focus now completely on Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj. The ED has said Kejriwal has told them that Vijay Nair reported to Atishi, who's a minister in the Delhi government, and that he reported to Saurabh Bharadwaj and not to him, that is not to Kejriwal. And this is on a day when he's received a setback. He's been sent to 14 days of judicial custody, which means the next 2 weeks will also be spent in jail by Arvind Kejriwal. The Enforcement Directorate has said in the court today that the Delhi Chief Minister named Aam Aadmi Party leaders and ministers Atishi Marlena and Saurabh Bharadwaj during interrogation. And he's also been sent to judicial custody until the 15th of April by a special judge at the Rouse Avenue Court today, which is also, of course, marking the culmination of his remand period in the Delhi excise policy money laundering case. They have said that ED has said Kejriwal mentioned that Vijay Nair did not report to him, but to Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj, and that his interactions with this person called Vijay Nair was extremely limited. Vijay Nair was also the campaign manager for the Aam Aadmi Party. And ED said that Arvind Kejriwal first said that N.D. Gupta was an active party member, and then he said that he was a member of the PAC, which is the Political Affairs Committee, and that he knows the party's functioning. But when confronted with the statement of N.D. Gupta, wherein he reveals that the national convener takes such decisions, Arvind Kejriwal calls the national treasurer confused, which means they've sort of cornered Arvind Kejriwal on the facts of this case and where the money trail went and who took the final decisions that helped the liquor cartel. But they are claiming that in court, they haven't been able to get responses from Kejriwal, and in custody, I mean, and that he's been very evasive. He hasn't really been cooperative. Let me go across to Deepak joining us with details of what the ED remand note says. We had the ED remand note. Deepak, if you can take us through the facts of the case as stated by the Enforcement Directorate in court today.
Right, Niranjan. So what the remand note has is something very explosive, because for the first time, Arvind Kejriwal has mentioned the names of 2 Delhi ministers about, whom we don't have any details on so far in the Liquorgate probe. So let me read out point number 13 of the remand note, because it says, during the custodial interrogation of the arrestee, which is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, his multiple statements were recorded. He is found to be giving evasive replies and concealing the information during the custodial interrogation. And 13.1 says that on being asked about the extent of interaction and reporting of Sri Vijay Nair to the arrestee, he stated that Sri Vijay Nair didn't report to him, but to Mrs. Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj, and his interaction with Sri Vijay Nair was very limited. However, the statement of Sri Vijay Nair himself reveals that he stayed in a cabinet minister's bungalow. Who was questioned yesterday, that was Kailash Gehlot. He said that he answered all the questions that were asked to him about the bungalow. When he was questioned, he said that the bungalow was allocated to him, but he continued to stay with his family elsewhere and he never used the bungalow. But what we have to note here, Niranjan, is that our reporters were also saying that the ambit of the probe could widen, and the Enforcement Directorate in the coming days could probably even question Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj, 2 new names that have been mentioned in the ongoing probe on the Liquorgate scandal.